Hey everybody, it's me, Goddess Mother, Voracious Super Queen here in the city of New Orleans. It's pretty late at night and my daughter sleeps, so I'm in the restroom doing this. Anyway, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are wondering why I'm leaving New Orleans. I've gotten lots of questions as to why I'm leaving. And it has nothing to do with the city, period. I love the city. I've met some really great Southern folks since I've been here. The Southern hospitality here is the business. It really is. I love it. My neighbors even gave me a going away party. It was really, really nice. And sweet and just kind, you know. Anyway, the reason why I'm leaving is, let's backtrack this. Now, you all know I came down here to learn New Orleans style hoodoo voodoo in New Orleans with a Divine Prince on Facebook. Now let's backtrack this before you guys get any ideas. Let me clear all of this shit up. Him and I were friends back in the 80s. Back in the 90s, the last time we even talked or had any contact was in 1991 when my second son is born. How much time has passed between that? Now I was surprised that he found me on Facebook, because I never, talked to him or even, tried to find him at all. I just assumed, people move on and live their lives. And we talked and, I was just kind of was getting bored with California and kind of wanted to change. And I also wanted to learn voodoo religion. I love African traditional religions and they just fascinate me. They're part of who we are as, black folks, of the diaspora everywhere all over the world. It's just innate. We feel it in us. We just feel the need to learn these things. So, him and I talk over the past few months. I'm living in Berkeley in my little one-room apartment, a really cool place. You guys always seen the videos of Orisha and I. And occasionally my son there, So we talked about coming to the South. I said, okay, I haven't been to the South since I was a kid, and I've never been to New Orleans. Never. So we decided to go. I said, okay, I'm going to pack up my stuff and move with my daughter and my son, because he wanted to come with me. No problem, that's my son. Although he's an adult, he's 24, he's still my child. So I arrived in New Orleans. I had to take a cab from the airport to the Divine Prince's house. So when you haven't seen anyone or laid eyes upon them in years, what is the first thing you do? You embrace them, right? I emerge from the cab with the baby. He turns to his face and says, "Girl, you look like Miss Seeley." Imagine my shock and dismay. Yeah, y'all thinking I'm from New York, I should know better, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even know what to say. So he looks at Orisha and turns her nose up. Turns her nose up. Oh, she is kind of cute, but I'm not really a cute person. Now, this is after he convinced me and I trusted him enough to come out here to learn his religion. And possibly he can be a little surrogate uncle or dad, whatever. I'm not tripping because, I knew him back in the day, but a lot of times it's not good to connect with people from our past. It's just not. Anyway, so that was the first incident. Second incident, he just continued to insult me, and I just couldn't understand where these insults were coming from. So I stayed in his apartment for 1 month, and I moved next door. Okay, second incident was, he said something about my son. He said that, he grew up to be really handsome. I said, yeah, he did. How he looks just like his dad? He goes, yeah, he looks just like Rick. So he goes, young guys like him are always attracted to me. And your son is fine, girl, and, I hope you don't mind if, he goes, no, I'm joking. So, I'm fresh here and trying to acclimate myself to this place, and I'm getting all this shit from him, just weird little shit. So I'm rolling my eyes, I ignore it. Then the other insults hurled at me. We were doing something online, and I guess I wasn't setting up my online thing fast enough to promote him in the House of Divine Prince, which, by the way, there is no House of the Divine Prince. He lives in a 2-bedroom apartment on a fixed income. Yes, he does stuff on Keen, but he doesn't have any godchildren. I haven't seen anyone come over there yet. Maybe 2 people came out, but he made sure those people were kept from me because he started a fight with me so I wouldn't bother him. Which when I moved next door, I didn't want to have anything to do with him because he just kept doing shit to me, like yelling at me, telling me I came down here to help him. I need to be cooking for him if I'm going to be his wife. Now, first of all, I didn't know if I was wife, godchild. He told the neighborhood I was his sister. I cleared all of that shit up once he started tripping. This is a lot to tell. It's a lot. And if you don't believe me, it doesn't matter. But I'm telling everyone this so you don't get caught up with him or any other fake charlatan that's doing this shit and using African spirituality as a manipulative tool. And, you know, and as a you know, weapon of abuse. You can't do it. Anyway, things just kept happening. The insults, the yelling, you know, we were doing something on the computer. I guess it wasn't doing anything fast enough for him. He goes, "You're gonna make me call you out your fucking name so hard, you stupid bitch." So of course I'm scared. I've had my daughter in my arms. I had nowhere to go. The shelter system out here, you have to be literally homeless outside on the street to get a place to stay. Which I was going to take my daughter on the street. I didn't know anybody here, so I just dealt with it. A month passed, I get to my apartment. Okay, I'm over there alone, minding my business, because I can't deal with him and all this shit. So he's always knocking on my door, and I would leave my back door open, because daughter and I were coming in and out from the backyard. He would just walk in my apartment. "You're over here by yourself. You're depressed. You're mentally ill." Well, duh. Yeah, I'm a little depressed if I came out here and the pretense was false. You're telling me I have to take care of the garden, cook for you 3 times a day using my food stamps, and you would only give me $50 extra from your food stamps. Meanwhile, that means you get to keep all your food stamps, the majority of your food stamps for the month, and my daughter and my son and I are going to starve. I was not going to do it. Number 2, he wanted me to do his laundry. Number 3, which was the fucking be-all, I had to prostrate in front of him every time I encountered him. That wasn't going to happen. So I still kept leaving him alone. He kept coming up, knocking on my door and fucking with me. Now, mind you, I had to call my friend Clyde for money. Clyde sent me money every month. I had to call my friend Lita to have her send me some money. I had to call my friend in Hawaii to send me money because my funds were depleting. And this happened because before I arrived here, which I can just kick myself for doing, I sent him money to pay his light bill. When I arrived, I sent him money to pay his light bill. I said, "Okay, we're going to be here if the lights go off. I can't have my daughter in the dark." Now, Teresa Callahan, you can keep paying his light bill if you want to. Like I said, there's no divine prince. He's only there by himself. There's no godchildren. Don't let that shit fool you that he has 5,000 friends on Facebook. You know, he also attacked me for that. "I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. Liddy, you have nothing. You came here with nothing." And I'm just like saying, what the hell is wrong with this man? So other incidents kept happening. He had a boyfriend named Leo a couple of years ago, back in the day when we all knew each other. And he was telling me, "Well, Leo had an obsession with you, girl." I'm like, "Me? I didn't know that. I'm not paying that attention." I said, if Leo would ever approach me on some shit like that, I would scratch his eyes out, because I just don't get down like that. If I consider you my friend and I know you, I'm not going to do it. So maybe that's something he was holding against me, that, I don't know, but hate me for all those years because of who I am. I can't do nothing about that. Whatever. That's just my assumption. Just because of the way I was treated when I was here. He also said there's something wrong with my daughter, and he's like, "Well, I'm a voodoo priest and I know she's autistic." My daughter's not autistic. My daughter has a language delay. He criticized me because of that. He said the reason why she has a language delay, because you're crazy, you're mentally depressed, you need to get medication. That's all I kept hearing. He even sent one of his acquaintances to my home to talk to me about medication. He even had one of the people at Congo Square call me talking about medication. I'm like, if these people only knew this shit I'm going through. I come from one place to the other. I come to home to come here thinking I'm going to learn African traditional religion, and this is what happens to me. So anyone in my place would have been depressed, upset, off balance. So I was off balance for a minute. Lo and behold, my neighbor across the street offers me a job. I take the job. My son keeps the baby. He tells me about the job, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's being nice, like a dummy. But again, because I'm out here by myself, he said he'll watch Arisha. That didn't work, so my son watched her. But before that, when I was volunteering at Ashe Cultural Center, you know, which on his suggestion I can meet other women, it's fine, you know, which was fine. But then one day I came home and my daughter was with him, and I said, well, why is she looking like that? He goes, well, she didn't eat all day, and neither now. You left us here with no motherfucking food. How am I supposed to do something? I'm like, there's food in the house, here, in your home, and I brought you food for her. Why couldn't you cook? Well, you know, I got to take my medication for my HIV, and it makes me tired, and blah, blah, blah. But my baby is standing next to him whining because she was hungry. So when that means I didn't get home till like, I left at 10. I didn't get home till like 3, so my baby hasn't eaten all day. So I took her home, and I had a plate that I left from the Cultural Center, which was enough on the plate for my daughter and him. He didn't want it. I don't eat no motherfucking chicken. Why would you do that? Like screaming at the top of his lungs. So I took the plate home and fed my baby. He's banging on my door. But let me go back to what I was saying about the job. When I got the job, and I was at my apartment, like I said, I stayed at his place for a month and moved to my place shortly after that. He came to my door and told me, well, since you have a job, you know Mardi Gras is coming up, and you're going to have to pay for my costume since I'm teaching this religion. Now, mind, I haven't been taught anything. Nothing. He told me to watch some videos on YouTube. I swear to God. Told me, well, my Mardi Gras costume is going to cost $1,500. You're going to have to pay for it. I said, no, I got this job through the neighbor, so I can take care of my daughter. Well, I don't know what you're going to do, but I feel it's wrong that I got you out here. I had to make a correction, tell him I paid for my flight out here. Now, if y'all don't believe me, public access to all accounts. Before I changed my name was Glenda Smith. Through Bank of America, from my debit card, I paid for the tickets for my daughter and I paid for my son's bus ticket because he did not want to fly, so fine, you know, whatever it is. So I paid for that. He didn't pay for it. And he's rather than say, well, I gave you crystals. I'm like, no, I came here with my own crystals because I posted on my Facebook months before I came here. So if y'all don't believe me, I need to follow the timeline of how things went and listen to his radio show. I'm coming out here to learn voodoo. So he has people thinking I came out here running from a bad situation, which I didn't. The abuse, the verbal abuse I had to take care was tremendous. Tremendous. Now, this is before the Trayvon Martin marches. Him and my son had got into it. My son had went to Atlanta and came back. Because the person he was with, they were going to see their mother, and he didn't want to be in that big-ass house by himself. So he came back. You know, he does his thing. I don't care what my son does. It is what it is. So I know my son's on tie knocks on my door. I'm like, what the fuck does he want? He's like sewing some shit for his next Mardi Gras for next year. So he's like, I seen your son. I said, yeah, I know he's here because I seen the videos. I'm like, okay, that's his business. He's grown. No, I'm going to tell him when I see him. I'm like, why are you going to bother him? Lo and behold, my son is coming back from the store because this one's door popping, seeing everything he's doing, so I hear it. I hear him saying something to my son, I hear my son respond. Because I sent my son to the store for some soap, so my son is responding. So I hear him, he has yelling at the top of his lungs, the divine prince, whatever he wants to call himself. I go outside, my daughter's asleep, of course, hoping, thank God she was. He's outside with a machete at my son. Now, you're the one who said you're going to tell my son about himself when you see him. When he corrects you for saying something to him and corrects you from bothering his mother, which a black man should do, you don't wield a machete. So I come outside, I'm like, you're not going to hurt my son. That I'm not going to let you down. Then, mind you, neighbors around, he tells me, well, you shouldn't have sent him over here. And I'm like, no, you came and knocked on my door and told me you was going to confront him about him, some video you seen him in, which is none of your damn business, so we go in the house. But yet, he goes to a Trayvon Martin march. Okay? You see what I'm saying here? A few weeks ago, another incident, I was outside talking to my neighbor. This happened to be around the 26th. Now, let me backtrack. I text all my family and my close friends of the incident that happened with the ex. So if you don't believe me, I'm pretty sure, you know, they'll vouch for it. But they don't have to. I don't need that kind of proof. On the 26th, I was outside talking to my neighbors, 26th of last month of August. I was talking to my neighbors outside, as I always do. After he warned me to stay away from these people, I'm like, I'm not going to isolate myself. Fuck that. That's not what I do. I'm a social person. I isolate because I need to sometimes, because we all need that shutdown time to be with ourselves. But that happens maybe like a week or so and I'm back out in the groove. Because, you know, self-time. Anyone, August the 26th, I'm talking to my neighbors outside, across the street. So I seen him leave Ty. He comes back later on that night. Because I've been out there for a while, you know, laughing, you know, smoking cigarettes, whatever was in there, but just being, you know, a girl. So he says, this is Ty, he says to me, guess who I just seen? Now, I know my son had came back out here again. I said, yeah, I know you, son, you know you ran into Ogden. I know everything my kids do. I keep close tabs on my sons. He said, did you hear me? I said, yeah, I know you seen Ogden, and I keep close tabs on my son. I know what my kids do. It's not that they lie to me. They just give me slight information, and I'll go from there. Because they know I'm their mom. I can figure it out. Next thing I know, he's running from across the street from his house, because he lives next door to me, in front of me, in my face. And I have Orisha sitting on my lap. Bitch, don't get your ass kicked before you go to California. I didn't ask you if you knew what your kids were. All I said was, guess who I saw? And I responded with the proper, you know, response. What do you want me to do? You better watch your back, motherfucker. You better watch your back, because I'm going to kill you, that baby, and your sons. I'll kill you and your whole family. So naturally, I put Orisha down and stand up. I'm like, you're not going to do nothing to my family, so I got to bite back. Then he yells at the neighbors, and y'all won't even fucking talk to me no more because of this bitch right here. You don't know, she used to be a prostitute and a fucking whore. That bitch ain't never had shit. She ain't gonna never be shit but a fucking whore. She been selling her pussy since I known her. And she came out of here from a bad situation and ran up my bills. First of all, none of that is true. A pro-dominatrix, yes I did. Here's what the pro-dominatrix does. They'll fuck you up, but they don't fuck you. Okay? So I've shared it. Everyone knows I was a professional dominatrix. My dom name was Goddess Camille. S-T-Y-R-K-E. If you want to look at the videos, fine. I'm not afraid of anything I've done. That shit paid my kids' tuition and kept a roof over our head between square jobs. Anyway, this is what he did. Now, he acted up twice out in front of neighbors. Now, so happens I had met a girl, a young woman from San Francisco, who was born and raised in the Bronx. She let me know that she's seen him. Now, this is someone who lives down the street from us, who heard him and seen him. She said if he didn't go in the house, she would call the police. So this is a small town. News travels very fast, so I'm pretty sure it got around the shit he did twice. Twice he threatened my family, you know, harm. Once with a machete, the second time like that. And he's like I said, y'all need to know. Like I said, I haven't seen any godchildren come, and, you know, people from Congo Square, they do their thing. And he actually blamed me and my daughter and my son for him not being able to get rides to Congo Square, because nobody want to deal with my baby that can't talk. No one want to deal with my weird energy. No one wants to deal with my son, because all your whole family's crazy and nobody wants you in their car. So this stopped me. This stopped him from getting rides to Congo Square, because the baby, my son, and I are in town, and we interfered with everything he was doing. Now, the people that he sent to me, trying to make me think I'm crazy, I'm not going to say her name. I'm just going to say her name starts, last name starts with a B. Girlfriend, he told me that, and I hate to say this because I never want to attack another woman's uterus. I'm not a yoni attacker. And when men, regardless if they're gay or straight, regardless if they slept with us or not, they attack our yonis. And what I mean by that, that's like some kind of spiritual energetic rape by him lying and saying that I was a prostitute and a whore. That's attacking my vagina. Now, to say, okay, let me get this straight. Her last name starts with a B. This is one of the people he thought that he would talk to about me because I was crazy and she was trying to talk to me and get the medication. So I'm crying while she's telling me this because I can't tell her what's going on because she's not going to believe me. Because their faith is so deeply in him. Now, he told me that, gossiping like a girl, telling about this woman's business, but she should have never told him this anyway, that she lost a child. Now, he tells me every time, you know, she feel like she got to remember that child when that child's birthday come up, I got to hear it. I got to hear that that child is lost, that she lost that baby. You women in this dead baby business, y'all need to get over it. Things happen, people die. She's smoking this joint. And I was like, thinking to myself, how can you say this about this woman? She lost a child regardless of how many years ago it was. She lost a child. Who are you to talk about that? Who the hell are you to talk about that? He also told me that a lot of the women in Congo Square don't like me because I look like a woman, I look like a man stealer. So they're going to act funny towards me. And it's so sad because I reached out to someone, tried to attempt to reach out to some of the women that were in Congo Square to try to talk to them about this shit I was going through. I even emailed one. I don't know if she emailed me back or not, because I was, like I said, so depressed and so distraught over what's happening. So for those of you who want to know, this is what's been going down, and this is why I'm leaving. I came here for a purpose. That purpose was not set or made. Everything was a falsity, a lie, and I'm on my way back home to California, back to the same place I used to live in, but on the apartment next door. Freshly painted, everything new, wash and dry, hook up, I'm going back. And, you know, I mean, I'm okay now, but when it was happening, I was fucked up. And I lost this in the park, and fuck it, it's gonna get replaced, so it's not gonna stop nothing. So basically, he basically told me I was here to help him, you know, because he wants to go to Africa, and I need to work extra hours so he can get to Africa. First of all, there's some countries you can't even go to on that continent because you're HIV positive. He's been positive since the 90s, and why I'm saying this is because he's always telling me how these young men in their 20s are attracted to him and how he pushes up on them. So y'all need to know this. Y'all need to know this. I'm not putting nobody's life in danger. I'm not putting anybody's mental health in danger. You know, and he wanted my son and he couldn't have my son, and the bottom line, that shit is a bunch of shit that happened. I'll be posting more videos, you know, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a lot of nasty negative responses, and the sad thing is the responses are going to come from women thinking that I was mad because I couldn't have him. Again, he's gay. I've always known he was gay. That's not the problem. The issue is he treated me bad, and under false pretenses he got me out here. So if you're a real spiritualist person, a voodoo priest, and so spiritual, you don't treat people like that. And Teresa Callahan, keep being a sucker and paying his light bill. Because he spends his money on weed, which is fine. Spends $300 a month on weed. He's always behind on his rent. All kinds of shit happens. Yes, he does the keen, but that's it. I don't see anyone coming to his house doing readings. And I've spoke to people that told me when they came what's going on, what's happening. Every time I want to make a schedule for a real reading to come to his house, he always has something to do. Truth be told, he does his little extra work on movie sets. Anyone can be an extra. Newsflash. I went to school for film, so I know what's up. I'm not down on him for doing it, that's fine, but don't make it seem like your life is so busy. He's in that house most of the time on Facebook, watching Good Times, watching That's My Mama, and all those other shows. That's what he does. And he drinks every day, all day long, and smokes weed all day. So he's not as productive as you think he is. And I'm not doing this to be vengeful or vindictive. I'm doing this so the next woman doesn't pack her shit with her kids and move down here and deal with him. Now, if you want to go down there and do the damn thing, do it, but just don't get caught up in that. I'm going to teach you voodoo, because he didn't teach me shit. Nothing. Nothing. Not a damn thing. Always has something to say about everybody in Congo Squares. Okay, who's crazy? Brian's crazy. Euceris Nephra's crazy. The light-skinned boy that plays the drums, I forgot his name, was a heroin addict. I mean, just everything is wrong with everyone. Now, ask me this. Ask him what happened to Tura, the young man that he said he was sleeping with, that they did a Oshun ritual that symbolizes them being married under the Marasa culture. This is what he told me. This is what he told me. Apparently, the boy's not around anymore. I met him because he's a nice, very handsome young man, same age as my son, just gorgeous, and that was his man. And he said everybody in Congo Square was giving fever because they knew it was happening, and they were jealous. And women, I'm not a man, still. If that's what you think, if it's in true fact, truly, said I don't do that. It's not how I get down. You know, anybody's man that would approach me, he would have got cursed out loud in public or got his eyes scratched out, kicked on, spit on, something. I don't do that. And I really wish you sisters would have let me know you and got to know me instead of listening to what he said about me. So, and sister with the B last name, and if I'm lying, you know, how would I know that you lost a child? I didn't know that he talked to me about it, how he was so annoyed by you talking to him about it. Really? Come on now. So, that concludes this first video. Because there's more stuff that's been happening, and I'm tired, and I need to take my ass to sleep. I'm tired. We're in here decompressing. It's pretty neat being in a hotel. So, until then, Power, peace, and positive energy. And I had to keep that going. I had to keep it going. Oh, another thing he said, that him and another friend of ours, first name R, last name S, thought that I was in prison or dead. Who the hell thinks that about people after not seeing them for years? I used to look at her son's picture and think, oh my God, this boy is so big, I wonder what they're doing now. Knowing R, she's being the diva that she's always been. And I'm pretty sure R.S. didn't say it. I'm pretty sure she did. And yeah, and another thing, he would always threaten to call child services on me. Always. So of course I was nervous about that. Not that I was doing anything wrong, but he had everybody convinced I was mentally ill. When I was just depressed and in emotional shock from all the shit that happened, all the lies that I was told. No house of divine prince, nothing. Nothing. And he also, when I moved next door, he actually came over to the house that same day asking me, get this, how committed are you to live over here? How committed are you at living over here by yourself in this 3-bedroom apartment, in this 3-bedroom apartment with you and the kids? I'm like, very committed. He goes, so what do you think about the house next door that I live in being turned into a temple and me moving over here and taking one of the rooms? I said, no, I don't think of that at all. I want to live alone. And he was like, okay, I'm just saying we can build something real big here, but if that's how you want it, if you want to keep living like this, you can go right ahead. And walked out. And then said, before he walked out, said, karma's a bitch. I don't want you moving in my house. No. And then he got mad because when I moved in, I posted, if you look up my post, I posted, wow, $750 for a 3-bedroom. Whoa. When I did that, he came and asked me, why would you do that? Why would you post that? Why would you do that? Because I can, that's why. Because he still had people thinking I was living with him, which was a freaking lie. I didn't run up his bills. I have receipts that prove that I paid my bills. We were sharing a water bill. I paid my portion, he didn't pay his. I sent the landlord the receipts of my portion of the water bill. He actually said, in front of an acquaintance of mine, that he hasn't paid that water bill in a couple of months. She'll tell you that because I'm pretty sure she's going to respond to this video. I mean, I gotta lay down. I'm not going to hear all this shit and they're stirring. So y'all be safe and be good.